please join me in welcoming Danny Wynn.
Thank you. I was told watch your step many times as a kid. And I remember one particular time I was in 6th grade and we had a school assembly. We had an all-school assembly coming up. And for me, it was an opportunity. Now, I was the second born of 4 kids, later 5, but at that time 4. And for some reason, I felt the need to get a little more attention than I probably deserved. So I strategized, and I brought into that assembly one of those milk cartons, you know, those little paper milk cartons that you have. It was empty. Brought it in, and at an opportune time, I stomped on that thing, and it just exploded. I mean, it was just BAM! It was awesome. And I got the reaction I wanted because I played it off like it wasn't me, but my friends knew. But what also I didn't realize was my 6th grade teacher, who was 6'6" tall, saw everything. So he came up, and at that time, he drugged me out by my ear in front of the whole assembly. And what hurt worse than my ringing ear maybe was his words. He said, "Son, you better watch your step." So that stuck with me. And I've heard that before, and I'm not sure what you think of when somebody says to you, watch your step. So for most, it's a negative response. Maybe you get a negative response from hearing that. Now think about babies. When we started out as babies, did we watch our steps? Well, I think we paid extreme attention to every step. We didn't have to watch our step. It was only after we learned to walk that we were told to watch our step. Now, neuroscientists say that 5% of our conscious or cognitive mind is used. 95% is the unconscious. So basically what's driving us is our unconscious activities. And that's programmed from a very early age. Matter of fact, by about the time we're 6 or 7 years old, we've been programmed to live the life. Now, the 5% is for us here in the room. We're pretty much very aware people. But the majority, it's about 1% of the conscious mind to live their lives. 99% of the rest of the time is on autopilot. So let's go back to those baby steps, those first steps. What does it take to get up and walk? I mean, you fall down, you fall down, you fall down, but you just keep going. What is it in that programming that got you to keep going? Now, was it your parents that said, "Come on, sport, look out, you got to watch your step. Maybe don't even, just stay still a little bit. You don't need to try walking. It's going to be all right." Teenager, it's okay. Just keep crawling around. I don't want you to fail. I don't want you to look silly. I don't want you to look stupid. So what if we applied those same principles to our lives? Now, we get the opportunity to create whatever we want. We all have dreams and passions and things that we want to do. But what stops us? What is it? Are we listening to that watch your step in a negative tone? Maybe look out for something that's not really there? Or maybe it is there. And most of the time it is. There's lots of obstacles. So I think we all appreciate stories of superheroes, people that have overcome obstacles and people that are challenged from the beginning and overcome these things. So we've heard of Clark Kent becoming Superman. We've heard of Bill Gates, Paul Allen. We love Paul Allen, especially after this Seahawks win. But they're superheroes. You know, they overcame obstacles and they developed their superpowers. My passion is to develop the super in you. I know that we each have that. My passion is to actually give you the shoes to step into to develop your superpowers, and I call those your super shoes. So the shoes represent your purpose, and the super represents being exceptional in whatever you do. So the first in my Super Shoes program, the first step in the Super Shoes program is called Looking Good. And I'm going to have to say, I mean, I'm up here speaking in front of you, but I've got a really good view. You guys are exceptionally good looking. I mean, this is awesome. I've got an amazing view right here. Phenomenal. I want you to turn to the person next to you and just tell them, you are looking good. Go ahead. Now I want you to come back. Now I want you to tell that the person that was just told that, tell them, you know what, you're really smart. So listen, does it feel good to be told you're looking good? It does feel good, doesn't it? Society tells us that it's an outside-in, that outside-in is what's important, right? We get that in the media, we get that everywhere where it's outside-in. But the reality is, looking good is an inside-out perspective. Everything that I see in you is something that comes from me. However I view my world is something from the inside. You all see me in a different perspective from your experience, from your life, from everything that you've gone through. So you're going to have different things that you're focusing on as you see me. And we all have that in us. We all have that ability. So if we have that ability and we have the ability to potentially program our lives and our steps, why not program ourselves to look good? In everything that we see, be looking good. That's the first step in the Super Shooz series, is deciding to look good. And it's a decision. What if you saw the best in yourself, in everyone else, and actually took the time to see your best life? Is it going to be a challenge? Are you going to stop and say, you know what, I feel like a real idiot up here. I feel stupid. You know, all of these things that come up, obstacles, things that challenge how we look to ourselves. Are we going to stop? As babies, would we stop? No, we just keep stepping. We step in it sometimes, right? And we keep going. So I want to share a song. It's called Looking Good. Just happens to be called Looking Good. And the reason why I add song to this element, and there's actually visuals to this program as well, and right now I am the only visual besides that. Thank you. I'm looking good, actually, from the inside out. So looking good is something that I want you to consider as you're listening to the song. Music is a powerful tool. It brings emotion, it brings memory, it brings repetition if you care to listen again and again. And it's important to instill habits. When you go back to what I said about 5% to 1% consciously living your lives, that's the awareness factor that we can utilize to develop habits. So these Super Shooz are really just developing habits of success where you, one at a time, take a step and you start developing areas to where you can end up living the life of your dreams. So this first song is called Looking Good, and while I get going with this, feel free to look at each other and tell each other how good looking you really are. Here we go. Close your eyes, what do you see? Open up the wonders there, heart of you and me. Seasons come, feelings change, still all the best in you remain the same. Heaven's forever inside of you. Colorful, so magical. Look for the freedom there, where love is to be found. Heart explodes, joy overflows. Something about the way you look, your world forever changed. Heaven's forever inside of you. Hold on, find it in your heart. All that I could be, what I see in me, I can do it in love. Now time to begin, this love comes from within. Right now I'm looking good. Woo! Sun it fades, darkness close in. Open up your heart and find true love shines from within. Heaven's forever inside of you. Hold on, love is in your heart. All that I could be, what I see in me, I can do it in love. Now time to begin. Love comes from within. Right now I'm looking my mind on all the things that bring me down. Forever I find the beauty from within it all around. Woo! You're looking good. All that I could be, what I see in me, I can do it in love. Now time to begin, this love comes from within. Right now I'm looking good, yeah. All that I could be, what I see in me, I can do it in love. Now time to begin, this love comes from within. Thank you so much. You are looking good. You really are looking good. So when you consider the steps that you take, every step that you take, you have the opportunity to create habits. You have the opportunity to develop and to see the best in yourself, the best in others, and the best in your life from acceptance and love. When you come from that place, you truly can create the greatness that's already there in you and bring that out. So if you'd like to find out more about Super Shooz, go to superuniversity.com and you can have the first step as well as the song, the recording of the song, Looking Good. And I want to say before I finish here is that it really is a privilege to speak with all of you amazingly good-looking people. And I have to say, my name's Danny Wynn, and you are looking good.